I shall do it.
Fuck whoever's down there.
Dragon Bone.
It has begun.
I bet if I didn't have money, I'd be like, oh my god, I'm finding so much Dragon Bone stuff. This is amazing.
Yeah. And you'd be in and out hauling stuff and selling it. It'd be the best thing ever.
That is the mindset of a poor person.
It has begun.
The mindset of an RPG player.
A poor RPG player.
Even when you're rich, you still grab everything. Unless you literally own a money machine. Which in this case, you kind of do.
I do. It requires a little bit of manual labor, though.
It shall be done.
Is that intentional?
Nope.
You really thought you were clicking on that thing? There wasn't a little part of you that hoped you clicked on the ballista instead? And that's why you stopped there instead of going up to the corpse?
No, otherwise I would have done this.
There's no friendly fire, though. Or apparently that ignores it. Alright, well, fuck Alistair, I guess. Awesome.
You know, you would think you'd still see some of the torches down there.
Well, they're gone.
All of them?
They've moved on.
Why wouldn't they not keep some people behind to...
They did, and you killed them.
Well then.
They're covering a whole, like, nation right now. They can't leave their whole army here.
Seems like bad strategy to me. Lucy, I'm home. Oh, where you going? Where do you think you're going?
I would kill these guys.
Huh?
I would really... We're just gonna lead you through more and more spawns.
I made an oopsie.
What? Ha! You didn't tell them to follow you. Just ran in by yourself. Oh, good thing you're not a female.
Yeah.
One of these hurlocks might spit in your mouth.
Oh, it's so fucking hot. Hey guys, nice of you to join me. Thanks for the heal. Where do you think you're going? It's over, Anakin. I have the low ground.
I shall do it.
2 health potions? You could totally complete that one quest you skipped that wanted you to hand in health potions.
Nah. Those are my health potions. They can fuck off. General? General what? General level up, that's what that is. You okay? He's fine.
There is no glory in bloodshed. I shall do it.
He's dead, Jim. Yeah, look at all this useless dragon bone equipment. It's not like the dragons are supposedly extinct and having dragon anything would literally make you one of the rarest individuals in history. It's just lying around everywhere. And I could be selling it, but no, I'm just gonna leave it here. Just this giant mace and this sword and all this crap made out of the bones of dragons.
They're so heavy. Dragon bone is so heavy. I don't want to carry it everywhere.
You know, you could find a way to make a good Dragon Ball joke here.
Oh, those were used up. You only get 2 per dragon and you need 7, so...
Very well.
Let's call it here.
Right here.
Just gonna have you go through this whole fucking tower again.
I completed the dwarf area!
Uh-huh. With no hitches along the way.
Not a
course.
single one.
No,
Nope,
no,
not one.
no,
Nope.
not at all.
Remember, kids, check your inventory.
Oh my god. I told you too. I fucking told you.
Hey, I can't dodge fireballs like that.
I shall do it.
This looks extremely familiar. This is exactly like that one other place in the DLC we had that fight at. They're reusing fight areas again.
Don't give them the advantage.
We're running through Ostagar.
Away with you.
Just went into the castle for the first time. Low Darkspawn tried to throw a fireball and I dodged it apparently.
Foolish.
The reason this is being reused is because, well, you've already been here.
Oh yeah, it's Ostig. Oh, dirt.
This is Return to Ostagar,
Yeah.
the DLC.
Yeah, you're right.
It's funny enough, I just edited earlier today a moment where you were asking what you needed to do next. It's a bad one. And you said, oh, well, I told you that you had the DLCs and Orzammar and some side quests you can do before, like, the Lance meet. And then you said, and Ostagar too, right? One of the DLCs I'm mentioning? Yeah, yes. That too.
Alistair's going down for a
I
nap.
had to repeat that to make sure I heard it right. Because I didn't react too strongly when you actually said it. I just kind of nodded along, like, yeah.
No, Alistair is literally over. But yeah. It happens, Rez. It happens. Aw, let me guess. This is where I'll exit the dungeon from.
Probably not, but maybe.
Alright, everyone, let's go down the fuck me hole.
I think that's what led upstairs. That door?
Mm-hmm.
Ahead.
But you're going downstairs. We're not reusing the upper levels. So this is new.
And this has been down here the entire time. It's never come up in any other Darkspawn invasion ever.
What do you mean?
This is a slower area?
Mm-hmm.
It looks like it's not been used and gives me the hint that they didn't know this area was down here like the humans.
Could have been like a ruin. This whole fort is built near a chasm that leads down into the deep roads where the Darkspawn will regularly come from.
Mm.
So this is a very old, like, castle fort thing.
Well, maybe it had a whole basement they didn't know about.
Like, anytime there is a blight, it quite often emerges from this chasm that we're near. So this has been here for most of the blights, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. And it's never been invaded like this before?
It probably has, but this is probably one of the only blights where they went up to the blight and said, it's not a blight. And only had a fraction of their forces actually fighting.
Yeah. What a bunch of maroons.
Fucking low gain.
Hey, you're not dead.
As you say.
You're still not dead.
You dodged it, that's why.
It's a fine thing we've done together.
You gotta wait for that satisfying sound effect to tell you hit, rather than just trying to queue up actions.
Yeah, is it any more satisfying than the blood gushing sound that they inflict sometimes?
Yeah.
Probably not good. You're bleeding that much, hero or not. Texture lines.
Remember, this advertised itself as the bloodiest game of the year. And at the time, it really was.
It's begun.
You know, they don't use that advertising anymore, but they used it quite a lot then. That's how they advertised this game leading up to release. It's the bloodiest game of the year, like 2010. Look at all this awesome graphics. Try to find an RPG that looks better. You couldn't.
No.
This is before every game ever decided it needed to somehow incorporate RPG elements into it.
Two executions in a row.
Making you feel badass.
Oh yeah. Totally not the fact that I'm on easy mode. But Spoders.
I think that was your final Greater Lyrium potion.
Meh.
All you have left now are potents.
Only. Hey look, guy, what's up? So asshole again. Undead Darkspawn Ogre.
That's supposed to be the ogre. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Those are Duncan's swords in his chest. And that's supposed to be the one that killed Kalen.
Squished him.
It is begun.
Yeah.
What good, bitch? You can't cast magic if you can't cast magic.
No quarter shall be given.
It's tough. Bitch. Achievement.
It shall be done.
It's over. And Kalen's
There it
helmet.
is. The last of them.
It has been a long day. By the lines around your eyes, I dare say you look as old as I.
And if I may say so, milady, you appear to be getting younger by the day.
Be careful
Alistair
who
likes
you
MILFs.
flirt with, young man. When you wake up beside me tomorrow morning, I'll be back to reminding you of your grandmother.
Beside you?
You heard what I said. It would not be the first time I woke to a younger man.
Oh,
in my bed.
fuck.
Are all women this evil and
Oh,
conniving
fuck.
when they grow old?
Just me, my dear. Just me.
Oh, fuck. Damn. Damn. You know, Ben Franklin always said it was better to sleep with older women because they knew what they were doing. He literally wrote an entire essay on it.
Oh, where'd your helmet go?
I don't know, I guess I took it off. And what's this about? Did I forget something?
I think that's where Kalen is. Yeah.
Shortcut. Where's my helmet? Where's his helmet?
No helmet for this cutscene.
Alistair, are you all right?
I'm covered in blood.
Oh, they left him here to rot. We need to do something. He was a good man who hoped too much and died too young. He deserves what little honor we can afford to grant him.
Yeah, I highly doubt they were able to cross his arms like that. They'd be so frozen stiff they'd snap.
There's Return to Ostagar.
That was short.
It's because you did the first half of it a month ago.
I mean, including doing all of this up here that previous recording session.
As well as your first encounter on the map and your conversation, which you mostly skipped through with the dying dude. But that's why it's just a quest on the map. It's not like one of the dedicated DLCs separate. And it's also not the proper expansion Awakenings.
Yeah.
You want a DLC that actually takes a while, well, you're going to enjoy Awakenings. That DLC was literally just made as like ooh, what if you got to go back there? Because everyone's been saying that since we launched the game.
Even though that technically doesn't make sense to do, because
It's in the fucking middle of the Darkspawn Horde.
Yeah.
You know, the undefeatable Darkspawn Horde,
Yeah.
where all the nations on the whole planet combined could not hope to field enough men to kill all those Darkspawn.
Because, you know...
That Darkspawn Horde?
Like the whole dead city because of it's completely overrun.
Well, that was just a little village, but
I mean,
yeah. Look at all that, though, man. Woo! It's about to hit Denerim.
Oh, speaking of... What? Darkspawn? I would have never thought. Where are the demons?
They're hiding.
Give me a bitch. That's a big sword.
Sword's as big as him.
Is it hollow in the middle? Yeah. That makes no structural sense whatsoever.
As you say. I shall do it. It's begun.
Oh, I'm just fucking dead.
What?
Oh!
You dumb old bitch.
I fell.
Do you spend too much time fucking Alistair last night?
For a moment there, I thought it was all over. Everything. I will explain everything when we are back at camp. Now is not the time.
Yeah, character story moment.
I think I owe you an explanation for what happened earlier.
Damn right, bitch.
You should know that something happened to me at the tower before you came along.
Killer.
You spoke to
Abomination.
Petra, did you not? She told you I saved her from a demon. I did, but I did not survive that encounter. No, I'm not undead. If I were a possessed walking corpse and could still think, I'd kill myself. I engaged a very powerful demon to rescue Petra. It sapped me of all my energy and will and left me drained. It took everything I had to defeat it. And when I was done, I no longer had the strength to keep my heart beating. I remember my life ebbing away. Everything receded from me. Sound, light. I remember being enveloped in complete, impenetrable darkness. And then I sensed a presence enfolding me and cradling me, whispering quietly to me. The sensation is impossible to describe. I was being held back, firmly but gently, as a mother would a child, eager to slip from her grasp. I felt life and warmth flowing through my veins again. I began to be aware of small sounds and the discomfort of my hip pressing into the cold stone of the tower floor. The Fade contains spirits both benevolent and malicious. The benevolent spirits seldom make themselves known, because they want nothing from mortals, unlike the demons.
Well, they're so fucking benevolent, they should fight the
these
demons, but,
spirits
that's
that
just
saved
me.
Without it, I would be dead. And it has not left me. It is with me, even now, bonded to me. You see, I am supposed to be
Remember,
dead.
Not
It is the
all
spirit that is
demons
keeping me in
would
this
be
world.
considered bad.
And this is not the way
Remember
of
the
things.
justice demon.
Perhaps the spirit did not expect this, but it is weakening gradually. I am living on borrowed time. I do not know. I can feel when the spirit weakens, so I should have fair warning. But come, let us not talk about this. There is time yet.
Bitch, you told me to talk about it.
What's on your mind? I have always had an affinity for the spirits of the Fade. As a child, I never feared my dreams because I knew they were there. I've always been able to feel the spirits, even if I never saw them. And as I nurtured my talent in the circle, I became more sensitive. I began to notice every time I was in the Fade, whether it was in a dream or in magical practice, that I was being watched.
That's not creepy.
Sometimes I would see it, a glowing, nebulous form. Most times
The
I would
Emperor of
feel its
Mankind.
presence, gentle and comforting, but somehow alien. I think it is a spirit of faith. They have never been seen before, and perhaps I am wrong. But something tells me I'm not. It always felt like the same
Without horning you, I might be a
entity.
lust demon.
This one spirit was curious about me, and was guarding me, for want of a better word. There were times when I was in the Fade that it seemed to stretch forth to shield me, keeping me safe. And I think it gave me strength in my most terrible battles, Ostagar being one of them. I don't know why I was chosen. Perhaps it knew that there was something more that lay in store for me. I like to think that I was given a rare chance, and I'm going to make the best of the time so generously given to me. I will not lie motionless in a bed with coverlets up to my chin, waiting for death to claim me. That is not the death for me. And so I will fight alongside the Grey Warden, and help prepare him for the task that is yet before him. So you had better listen to me. because I
love how you can
swear,
tell where the
if I
takes are
should fall before
different.
the end and you don't seem to be doing things
She's like,
properly,
I'm not gonna die
I'll
here.
get
So
up
I will
again
fight
give
to
you a
protect the
good
land.
Finger wagging.
I'll give you a good finger wagging. Hey.
You know, I think you'll be all right, even without my help.
Mama, give me cookies.
What's on your mind? Cure me? What, am I sick now? Even you know that you cannot cure the dead. And I'm not the only one dying. You are too. I'm just more efficient about it.
She laughed just like fucking,
Your concern is
what's her face?
heartwarming.
A second there.
But death comes to everyone, and it is not something to fear.
Flemeth.
People fear not death,
Well, they're
but
both
having
old ladies.
life taken from them. Many waste the life given to them, occupying themselves with things that do not matter. When the end comes, they say they did not have time enough to spend with loved ones, to fulfill dreams.
The answer wasn't
to go
question.
on
Did
adventures they only
Flemeth
talked
give
about.
birth to Morgan?
But
Or
why
like,
should you fear death if you are happy with the life you have led?
Probably.
If you can look back on everything and say, yes, I am content.
just imagine
It is
a
enough.
very pregnant old witch in the fucking forest.
No, like, because remember, Flemeth, as you know her, is actually Flemeth's daughter's daughter, etc. So Flemeth was probably in a body young, like Morgan, had a kid,
And then
or as an adult had her kid have the kid, and
And
then
then-
take over the mom, one way or another. That's probably how it went. So did Flemeth do it? Maybe not.
But the
did
body-
that person do it? Probably.
Okay. And Flemeth did say that she remembers at one point her mother being young and then becoming old just overnight.
I think I've led a good life, a full life, and I, for one, am not afraid of death, whatever it may bring. They say that when you die, your spirit travels through the fade and returns to the Maker.
Gotta love that
after
fake
that-
texture.
We'll see, won't
Yeah,
we?
dude. Welcome to the 2010
What's on your
PS3 era.
I try not to dwell too much on the mistakes of my past.
We're on the
of which there are
PS5.
many. I would go quite mad if I did that. But I do have one regret. The greatest misstep of my life. Made even more grave because it had dire consequences for someone else. Years ago, I was assigned as mentor to a lad, Anarin. He was my first apprentice. Anarin was an elf, raised in one of the elven alienages, and he was very mistrustful of humans, especially humans in authority. What Anarin needed was time. Time to get used to his new home, time to emerge from his shell, so we could build a rapport. I gave him no such time. I was young and arrogant. He is a mage, I thought. He needs to grow up and act like one. I expected too much from him, too quickly. I gave no consideration to his origin or his feelings, and he retreated further from me. All I could think of was how stubborn he was, how he was throwing away all his talent and his potential just to be difficult. Oh, I dread to think. I was a harsh taskmistress. He might have thought I was a demon in disguise.
I mean, you
cannot
kinda are
plant
right now.
crops in the cold, wintry ground. You cannot teach a student who is closed off and unresponsive. Patience is what is needed, and I learned that too late to help him. Anarin ran away from the circle one night. I had berated him over some trivial, ridiculous matter that I no longer remember. I drove him away because of something utterly unimportant. He was a child, 14 at the time of his leaving. They had his phylactery, and they hunted him down. They called him Maleficar, a mage who practices forbidden magic, deserving of death. He was a child, misunderstood.
The answer you've wanted
and
since the
lost.
beginning of the
I
game.
begged the Templars
You run
to
away,
tell
you're
me
dead.
if he suffered, if they gave him a quick death. I got no answers from them. I was his mentor, and they wouldn't even tell me what became of him. I should have known better. I had the best mentors. They were kind, compassionate. Why didn't I learn from them? I failed in everything.
Because they probably had to learn
All I
themselves
had to do
at
was
first, too.
listen to him. He would try to talk to me, and I would tell him to concentrate on his spells. He talked about the alienage sometimes, and the Dalish. He always talked about looking for the Dalish elves. The Templars are well trained and thorough. That he still lives, it would be a vain hope. The apprentices that came after Anarin benefited greatly from the lessons I learned from him. In a sense, he was my teacher, and I his student. And there it is. My story, my one greatest regret.
New quest.
This quest updated.
What's on your mind? Is something troubling you? You are one. It may not mean much to you, but thank you. Have you heard much about the Grey Wardens of old? It was said that watching the Wardens ride in on their white griffins was enough to rouse a weary heart
I didn't get any
and put the
griffins.
dance back in the step of an old man. The Grey Wardens were powerful, feared and respected, but they also inspired the common people. I remember a tale that was told to me many years ago. The Blight had ravaged the land for months, and the armies of the great kings had amassed for one last stand. As the sun burst through the clouds that boiled and churned in the dark sky above, it illuminated a vast, seething horde of darkspawn, with the archdemon at its head. And it was then, when courage seemed to fail, and all lost to death and despair, that the Grey Wardens came.
I wonder who was like,
They
hey,
arrived
let's
with
drink
the
this
beating
blood,
of
see what
wings
happens.
like mighty war drums, and stood before the armies of men. The Grey Wardens, grim and fearless, marched forth. They formed a shield of their own bodies and held that line until the archdemon was dead, and then, demanding neither reward nor recognition for their sacrifice, the Grey Wardens departed. When the clouds finally rolled back and the sun shone full upon the blighted ground, the great kings knew that they had lost no men, and none of their blood had been spilled. You are observant. This is a tale about no battle the Grey Wardens have fought, and yet about them all. They have always defended us from the Darkspawn, taking losses so we do not have to. People may have forgotten over the centuries, but nothing has changed. This knowledge has been blessing and burden to Grey Wardens past, and now it shall be your blessing and your burden. What's on your mind? No, you won't. I don't think so either. You would not have been happy living a dull, uneventful life, dying in obscurity.
If I had video games, I would.
You wonder sometimes, don't you? If your life would be better if you weren't who you are. When I was a young woman in the tower, I came to the realization that the circle would be my life, and I would know no other.
I mean, that should be everyone's
love,
thought process
a
eventually.
simple life. These were things that others took for granted, that I would never have. It made me very moody. All I could think of was being trapped in that tower. I started hating my life and myself, and one night I found myself in the tower's chapel. I was seeking refuge, maybe answers. I must have looked tearful or made some noise, because the revered mother came out and decided to speak to me. And because I had no one else to talk to, I talked to her. I must have said many silly things, but she told me that the Maker puts us all on our paths for a reason, and fighting our intended course is what causes so much anguish. I thought the old biddy was full of rubbish. I was 15, maybe 16, and I knew everything. So I left, but I always found my way back to that chapel. And as the years passed, I began to see the truth of her words. We were supposed to be polar opposites, mage and priest. But we weren't. There was much about us that was the same. Not all priests choose their path. Some children are given to the chantry to raise and become initiates. The revered mother had lived in the chantry
Alistair.
all her life. I had been in the tower for all of mine. She taught me that you can find your family in the people around you.
Here you go,
That you
bastard
can
kid.
love your work and find fulfillment
You'll never be
in
king.
duty. And there is joy even in self-sacrifice. If you put others before yourself, then their well-being is yours, and their happiness is your happiness. You can scream and cry and be angry about life as a Grey Warden, or you can accept it and allow yourself to see the good in it. This is your choice. What's on your mind? I will answer to the best.
Alright. Lord dump over.
Yeah, that's nearly a whole episode right there.